Hello. So I'm just going to be talking really quickly about a project that I was working on where me and a team recreated the Robinhood app, which essentially allows investors to see stock portfolios in real time updating. And I was working independently on the chart module of the graph. So that is essentially allowing the user to see um, a stock's progress on the day, whether it's profitable or not. Um, so yeah, I was working on that. We were using React as our front end, and then I use SQL on the back end to hold on to stock data prices. Um, and the reason I chose MySQL is just a relational database really made a lot of sense, especially considering that I wanted a relation between the time, price, and the company. And this was actually a really cool project to work on. It was one of the more complex projects that I've worked on in my time coding. And one of the big things that I took away from it was the importance of just keeping your code clean and modular. I originally had most of the code constructing the graph itself, all in one single React component. And as my app continued to grow and I was integrating more and more functionality, I realized that it really was just not feasible to put everything all together in one component. I also couldn't read my code that well, and I was having issues testing because I realized that um, trying to simulate a snapshot with Jest or Enzyme, it just was really difficult with so much complexity in a single app. So I really took the time to kind of break down everything into smaller components and really spread out the code. And that really helped a lot in just being able to read what was going on and also just make sure that there was no unnecessary code. So that was a really good learning lesson for me. Um, and then also too, what was really cool about this project is I was working on um, a component that was completely reactive in terms of a mouse hovering over it, and it had to let the user know what the price was at a given time in the day and re-render its color based upon whether the stock's at profit or a loss. And I actually originally was working with just SVG and plotting the graph myself, but then after working with things for a little bit, and again, kind of going back to cleaner code, I realized that it was going to be so complex building the chart myself that I actually kind of decided to use a plugin called Recharts, which is a plugin that wraps D3 inside of React, so you don't have the issue of both of those um, frameworks trying to access the DOM without talking with one another, so you don't have to worry about any side effects that you weren't planning for. But also, um, Recharts is really lightweight, and it had all the functionality that I needed. So it really, I think, kind of added to the project that I didn't have to worry as much about getting that complexity working as much, but really just working on making sure everything looked clean and was working with one another. So yeah, that was my project, and it was really fun. And happy to explain it to you.